But Bhaktapur is only one example. We do have conservation projects in other parts of the country as well.
Like?
Up to Upper Mustang and also here in Patan, Durbar Square. And we try to help Nepal preserve its wonderful culture, its fantastic architecture. These markets are changing. What we see now, for instance, is not everybody wants to go to Khumbu or Annapurna area. So different destinations have to come up. Then you have different groups traveling. There, for instance, there is a demand for female tourist guides, for female groups, and things like that. There, Nepal has to be flexible to offer that. The ball is on the Nepali side of the field. So we want to see some action in the field of safety, and then we can proceed.
Okay.
Unfortunately, this discussion is going on for too long. It would be necessary to see some results in that. The tourists don't expect 3-4 star hotels when you go to a remote area. I see opportunities for tourism also in areas where you do not have tourism yet.
Good afternoon. We are in the show, interview show of New Businesses. We have our guest today, His Excellency Dr. Thomas Prinz, HE Ambassador, Federal Republic of Germany to Nepal. Welcome to the show, Dr. Prinz.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lamsal. It's a great pleasure for me to be here.
Thank you very much. So, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. So, how do you assess the current status of relations between Nepal and Germany?
The relations between our two countries are very good. We have absolutely no issue whatsoever. In addition, we have the German government has decided to prolong the development cooperation with Nepal, and this is, I think, also a very good sign for our bilateral relations. We are also ready to help Nepal in the time of COVID, and we are bringing in now again 1.5 million doses of this new specialized vaccine against the Omicron variant, which will arrive soon via the COVAX initiative. So we are standing at the side of Nepal, and we try to help where we can. And we also see that in the recent international crisis we see in Ukraine, we see now in Iran, that Nepal has been a good partner in the United Nations framework.
Okay. As you rightly said, Germany has been very active and very kind to help Nepal in various fields. Prominent one such area is that cultural preservation as well. So, how satisfied is Germany with the achievements in the field so far?
Oh, we are extremely satisfied with that. Every guest we have coming from Germany, we bring them to Bhaktapur and show them around. Bhaktapur in the 70s had a lot of problems, hygienic problems with the lack of canalization and so on. And that was solved in cooperation with German engineers and the city of Bhaktapur. And you know, now it's one of the most beautiful cities in the world.
Right.
And we are a little bit proud that we took part in making Bhaktapur such a nice, beautiful city. But Bhaktapur is only one example. We do have conservation projects in other parts of the country as well.
Like?
Up to Upper Mustang and also here in Patan, Durbar Square. And we try to help Nepal preserve its wonderful culture, its fantastic architecture, and we will continue with that. We are extremely happy to do that.
Thank you for your generosity, Your Excellency. So, Germany was one of the major donors to provide Nepal's assistance in reconstruction after the Gorkha earthquake in 2015. And how is your evaluation of the use of this assistance here?
Well, Recently, I've been to Ramechhap
Wow.
with the parliamentary state secretary from Germany, Mrs. Kofler. We have opened the district hospital in Ramechhap.
Okay.
And that was one of the many examples of how we helped Nepal to overcome the damages of the 2015 earthquake.
Okay.
This district hospital in Ramechhap is a very beautiful hospital, and it helps the whole district and serves the people there. And again, I'm proud to say that we are happy with the success story of helping Nepal to overcome the damages of the 2015 earthquake.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. And another question is, Nepal and Germany had signed investment agreement way back in 1986. So how effective has it been in your experience?
I think that an investment agreement is kind of a basis for bilateral investment, but it doesn't necessarily lead to the fact that there will also be a huge amount of business.
Right.
But where I think we can do more is bringing business people into the country, making it easy for Nepali business people to go to fairs in Germany.
Yes.
What we need is civil society contact.
Right.
And that was unfortunately hampered by the COVID-19 crisis. In 2019, we had a German-Nepal Business Council.
Right.
And at the moment, we are working to organize a German-Nepal Business Council for next year. That means bringing in interested investors to Nepal, matching them with possible counterparts here, and see what's going to happen. And in addition to that, we see a lot of companies bringing in German consumer goods.
Right.
There is a growing middle class in Nepal, and we see now that they want to consume similar things than middle classes somewhere else in the world do consume. So I opened a Bosch showroom recently, and things like that are happening. So there is a growing interest in German products here, and that is, I think, a first step for future investment also.
Yeah, I think you have so many printing press here, German-made printing press,
Yeah.
and so many other things. Hydropower project, they need the equipments that also are being imported from Germany. And you have this German DOPA fair exhibition. Every year Nepali entrepreneurs used to go there, but because of COVID, that is not there.
But we have restarted this fair business, and I know from our visa department at the embassy that there is a huge interest in Nepal at the moment to go to the trade fairs in Germany, and I think this is coming back now.
Okay, great. The question, the investment agreement was, why I asked that question was the FDI, the foreign direct investment flow into Nepal from Germany seems to have slowed down in the recent years. Besides COVID, let's forget the COVID 2 years, but even in 17-18 it was only 51 million, and in 18-19 it was 65 million and nothing thereafter. So how this slowed down? I mean, does it indicate that the need for revisiting 1996 agreement again?
Well, I don't think so. It depends also a little bit on the products Nepal is providing.
Okay.
For instance, we had in the last century, last decades, we had a lot of carpet products going to Germany. This has somehow slowed down. I do not know what the reason behind that. There are other countries coming up. There are different styles and fashions coming up. But I think that Nepal has to diversify its products. We can't rely only on carpets and pashmina. So that is why, for instance, we are supporting now via the European Union new products to help them to enter the European market. Like, for instance, organic coffee, organic teas, herbal products, and so on.
So, can we say that because the Nepali products, especially carpet or some other, didn't meet the quality or the requirement of the Germany clients, consumers?
Oh no, I don't think so. What I see here, your pashmina products are wonderful,
Okay.
and your carpets are also fantastic.
So, where
But
is the lack? The marketing?
Maybe it's the marketing, but I can't tell you for
Okay.
every single product, but
Okay.
There are competitors coming up, and
Yes.
the
They are
market is
taking-
dynamic,
Of
and
course.
so it's difficult for me to say. But what we do, for instance, from government side, is to support the Association of Pharmaceutical Industries in Nepal, to help them entering foreign markets. We give them advice in how they meet the necessary requirements for export to United States, Europe, and so on. And some of them are quite successful. I recently visited a pharmaceutical producer here,
Right.
and they have absolutely top production facilities and standards.
Right.
And these standards are so high that their products can be sold in foreign markets.
Right.
And this is the way we try to help certain industries to jump over the Nepalese borders with their products, and to find new export markets.
Since it's already been some time you are already here in Nepal, what could be your suggestion to the Nepali producers, Nepali entrepreneurs, so that they can really export to European countries like Germany?
I think it's important to show what you have, go to the trade fairs, show your products, and go with the markets, be innovative. For instance, as an example, travel industry. These markets are changing. What we see now, for instance, is not everybody wants to go to Kumbu or Annapurna area. So different destinations have to come up. Then you have different groups traveling. There are, for instance, there is a demand for female tourist guides, for female groups, and things like that. Nepal has to be flexible to offer that. We had a delegation from GIZ here last year, and they did a study on this travel market. They were here for a couple of weeks and trying to figure out how to help the local travel agencies to come up with new ideas. And a few of these ideas could bring Nepal forward, I think.
Right. Germany is the third largest market for Nepal's exports. But the export figure of the major export item, namely woolen carpets, seems stagnant in recent years, and there are new export items. So, you have already answered the question, but still, any idea that any new export item being explored together with the German chamber here or members of the producers?
Yeah, well, I think there are chances in the field of high-end organic agricultural products.
Okay.
Like, for instance, tea, coffee, honey, herbs. In that area, I see chances. This is all no bulk market, yeah, but it's a niche market, but it's a high-end niche market, and why not going for it?
Right.
And the products the Nepali businessmen here produce, their coffees, their teas, they are world class, and there is a certain demand for that. But the consumers nowadays, they want fine quality, and they want to have it in a pesticide-free production process, and they are willing to pay a little bit more if it's organic. That could be a solution then, as I already mentioned. Pharmaceutical products, generica, could be new export products. And then in the field of services, I also see possibilities.
Like?
The IT service, for instance. You have quite a number of young people who are excellent in IT. And for IT services, you do not even need a big office. You can do it with your laptop from everywhere. And there, my experience as previous German ambassador to Bangladesh reminds me that there are new opportunities coming up with good education and good training. And in Bangladesh, they had in those years, 2015 onwards, developed their IT business because Bangalore became too expensive, and a lot of businesses were looking for new IT services, and Bangladesh profited from that.
Right.
And now I think that Nepal also can profit from that.
Right.
And so with education, training, you can create new service possibilities.
Okay. Excellency, you mentioned that there may be demand of the high value agricultural products in Germany. The main problem of the sellers, the producers may be that how to contact those clients, niche clients. What could be your suggestion? How can I, if I produce a herbal tea that's organic, that's good quality, how can I sell? How can I find the clients there? What could be the best way?
Well, in every city in Germany, you find Nepalese tea.
Okay.
There are tea shops, and the good names in tea, they all have Nepalese tea in their assortment. And if a producer from Nepal would like to get into that market, I first of all would tell him to get in touch with the Tea Producers Association here in Nepal, because they already do have the contacts. And the second step would be maybe to travel to the importers and get in touch with the importers in Germany, present their products. There's a growing market there.
Okay. Germany is also one of the major source of tourist arrivals in Nepal, as you also already mentioned. In 1919, the German tourist arrival was as high as 36,000, which dwindled to some 3,000 in 2021. Though the figure for 2022 so far has reached some 13,000 last month figure. So, can we expect to reach this? So, what can we expect for 2022? You have any estimation?
So 2022, I expect something around between 15 to 20,000 arrivals from Germany, all in all. And I think that next year we probably will be back to the pre-COVID figures. But what I always say is, don't concentrate too much on the numbers. I think the main task for Nepal is to add value to its tourism industry, so that average tourism leaves more money in the country. The numbers, they are also creating problems. There is a waste management problem in areas like Khumbu, on the Mount Everest Trail, on the Annapurna circuit, and so on. Therefore, I always say don't concentrate too much on numbers. Try to add value to the tourism, invest a little bit more in accommodation and things like that. And then the people will leave more money here. Another problem I see in tourism is Nepal is constructing many roads everywhere. And sometimes this is happening without proper planning. I will give you an example. The Annapurna Trail, when you look it up in old tourist guides, was always recommended to start it in Besi Sahar
Okay.
and then walk up to Manang and down to Mustang, and you could do the whole valley then down to Pokhara. Nowadays, when you go to YouTube and look in the recommendations of those people who've traveled it recently, they all say don't start in Besi Sahar.
Okay.
Because you are walking for 3 days on a road in the dust of the lorries, buses and cars.
Oh my God.
So the recommendation is now go further up to Manang, start your trekking tour there.
Right.
So what is happening with the tourist accommodations between Manang and Besi Sahar? They are losing business.
Right.
So there is now a road, but the road doesn't profit everybody. If there is a need for a road, which I can understand,
Yes.
people want to be connected, then you have to plan an alternative for the trekkers.
True.
So that they don't have to walk on the road. And that is, I think, the planning authorities in Nepal should consider that not every progress is good for tourism.
True. Very excellent point, Your Excellency. By the way, can I also ask you if you have any idea on that? How about the food, in those areas tourist trek? How is the pricing? How is the hygiene? Anything on that?
Well, the food is okay.
Okay.
I mean, you get dal bhat everywhere and noodles. Of course, in some of the remote areas, there is not much of a variation. But the tourists who come to these remote areas, they do not expect a menu like in Tamil.
Right.
So for them, it's okay. Accommodation is basic. But also, I would say the tourists don't expect 3-4 star hotels when you go to a remote area.
Right.
Hygienic could be better, I have to say.
Okay.
There are quite some issues with that.
Okay. What about the possibility of resuming direct flights between Germany and Nepal? Is there any possibility?
Well, I think Nepal Airlines would be interested to open flights to Europe. It would definitely be good to have more direct connections with Europe. But we have, since a couple of years, we have an issue with the aviation safety.
Yes.
And the European Aviation Safety Authority is demanding from Nepal what we are demanding from every other country which wants to fly to the European market, that they have to have an independent aviation safety body.
Right.
And the law establishing such a body, unfortunately, was not placed before the parliament last time. And so we are still waiting for some kind of an independent aviation safety body. How it is established, that is a business of the Nepal government, or how they do it, if it's inside the ministry or if it's outside of it, that is up to the Nepali government. But we have to have such an independent body. And because if those who are deciding about the business are also deciding about the safety, it's always it's contradicting interest. It's a conflict of interest, and usually economic prevails over safety. Yes. Therefore, we want to see such an independent safety body, and then I think the overall standard here at the airport has increased tremendously, and we are interested to have direct flights.
Okay.
And so it's mainly this safety issue which is still hampering the opening of new flight connections.
Recently there was a news that European Union is thinking to lift that ban.
Yeah, we are thinking to lift that ban, that is correct, but the precondition must
is
be
to
created by the Nepali government.
security
And there is
authority.
a lot of,
Okay.
let's say, wishful thinking. It's not in our hands. We say that the ball is on the Nepali side
Okay.
of the field. So we want to see some action in the field of safety, and then we can proceed.
Okay.
Unfortunately, this discussion is going on for too long. It would be necessary to see some results in that.
Okay. In 2019, Nepal and Germany had agreed to set up a bilateral consultation mechanism, which was scheduled to meet annually. So, what is the development in this? How effective has this mechanism proved?
We were planning to re-establish this mechanism this year, and then somehow we came into the second half of the year. Then the election were scheduled for 20th of November, and then we said we postpone it till the new government is in power, and because it does not make much sense to have this mechanism going on, and next week you the people you discussed with are gone.
Right.
So we said now we do it in the first half of 2023.
Okay.
That is what we try to prepare now, and no date yet fixed, but we plan for first half 2023.
Okay. Recently, German embassy Kathmandu helped organize Nepal-German Mart 2022. So, what was the purpose, expectations, achievements, and how was it?
Yeah, well, that was a small step to help the members of the Nepal-German Chamber of Commerce and Industry to create new business opportunities. And we were sitting together and were discussing how to do it. And I said I offer the premises of the German embassy and the residents, and you show your products and make hopefully new customers there. And we had on Saturday, Sunday, this weekend, about 500 to 600 visitors there. With a little bit more and better advertisement, we could have reached more, but it was after a long time the first time we did something like that. We have learned from that experience. I think it was a good experience, and we hopefully can repeat it next year. Maybe we do it next year not in the embassy premises, because it's always a security issue there. Not everybody can be allowed to enter. We have to have some formalities up front and so on. If we do it maybe in a 5-star hotel, bigger crowd could participate in that. But it's still, I think it was a success. A lot of networking was taking place, and therefore it was a good start, I think.
Okay. So it will continue?
I hope so, yeah.
Okay. So these were a few questions that I had thought in my mind. Anything else you want to highlight?
Well, maybe coming back to this tourism business, I would like to mention that I see opportunities for tourism also in areas where you do not have tourism yet. So the tourism is concentrating in a few areas. But I had the chance early this year to visit Karnali. And this is a beautiful province. It's a huge province stretching practically from China to nearly to India. And so there could be tourism there as well. And it does not need much of an investment for that. What you have to have is some trekking routes.
And some hotels.
And I don't think that you need hotels. You need homestays. And that can be done with a minimal effort, with a minimal investment.
Maybe a toilet and bedroom.
A toilet and a bedroom and a meal. The same meal the local family eats, and then staying in a house of a family if you have that in every second village and nice trails going from south to north and from east to west, and that could help also areas which are not yet having tourism.
Right. That's good idea. That's really excellent. Anyway, thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you very much for your time and your very candid answers for the audience. Hope to see you again.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, sir.